I am a charcuterie producer. My background is a chef, so these products that you see before you are things that I've crafted and developed in kitchens, commercial kitchens, throughout my career. I was a chef for about 20 years, working in some Melbourne institutions like Mario's Cafe and Grossi Florentino. I worked with some fantastic chefs, Guy Grossi and Chris Rodriguez at Grossi Florentino, Frank Camorra, who is the founder of Movida, Brigitte Hafner, so all sorts of fantastic chefs over the journey, and really that's where my love and passion for European cuisine sort of was ignited and started. So I'm a Ballarat boy. I grew up here, moved to Melbourne when I was 17, started my apprenticeship. A lot of chefs. London was calling, so in the early 2000s I moved to London, managed to work for some amazing chefs over there as well, but got my first head chef's job here at Berry Brothers and Rudd in St James Street. There's me acting like a clown in the kitchen. So in England I got exposed to even deeper into European cuisine, so got to really work with and develop these products that we've sort of come to today. So my love of charcuterie began. Every kitchen that I worked in, we were making charcuterie, small batch stuff at home that we were drying, even got the kids involved. So we had smokers in the backyard. We had, I fitted out a maturation cabinet, and we were really just trying to develop the products that I wanted to set up this business with. So in the early 2000s, I had a bit of an idea of what I wanted to make. Basically, my favourite part of making charcuterie is when I get to make that cut for the first time. So I get to see that cross-section of these beautiful products. It still gives me a great amount of joy today. But obviously working in a commercial kitchen, I had some knowledge, but probably not the knowledge that I was after. So I had a relationship with Judy Crowe. She'll hate me showing that photo, which I'll make sure she knows that I showed that photo. We sort of sat down and spoke about, I wanted to go overseas and upskill myself and learn a bit more about charcuterie and salumi from people that have made it for generations. But I needed a pig farmer, and she was good enough and excited enough to sort of get on board with it. I went over and met this lady with glasses on, Kate Hill. She's an expat American who was living in Gascony in the Lot-et-Garonne in the south of France. And we linked up with this beautiful family, the Chapelard family. So 4 brothers, all of their partners were involved in the business. So charcutiers, they made product on their land. So they grew all of the feed for the pigs, turned it into charcuterie, and then sold it at the markets, 100% retail, and that sort of sustained 4 families. I worked with these guys for a couple of months and gained a really good connection, and got to go back last year and see them again, take my family back, which was a really beautiful experience. One of my favourite regions of France is the Pays Basque. Oh, that one over the back's gone. One of my favourite regions is the Basque, which is obviously that link between Spain and France, and this is Eric Hospital and Pierre Ortiza. So these are 2 charcutiers that I got to spend some time with as well. Pierre has a beautiful space in the Pyrenees Mountains. His farm basically goes up the mountains, so the pigs are all sort of living outside on the farms, and we got to go through Pierre's facility. He gave us lunch one day, sat down and tried to get my 15-year-old son drunk, I'm sure. But really generous with their time. They actually want to pass on the history of what they've been creating. The next generation of French people, their kids don't seem to want to pick up where mum and dad have sort of left off. So they're very open to passing on these traditions and these techniques and skills, so that people can learn them for anyone that's interested. And I think it's quite bizarre for them to see someone come from the other side of the world to learn what they've been doing just as a job for generations. This is the Hall of Ham that Pierre had. So these are all, this is a maturation room where it's all humidity and temperature controlled, and so these hams will hang there anywhere between 2 and 5 years before they go out to market, and they're sold all over Europe. We can't quite get them to Australia yet, but we'll work on that. So coming back to Australia, I had some really good relationships being a chef with some local producers. Working in Melbourne, I always seem to be using produce from our region. Two of the biggest relationships I had were with Western Plains Pork and Judy Crow in particular, and Sher Wagyu, Vicky Sher. So these were, I sort of knew that we had a food bowl here surrounding Ballarat. My family's here, I grew up here, and sort of all roads led to home. So the stars aligned. We moved back to Ballarat in 2014 and, well, through 2012. Got to work on a space and got set up with Salt Kitchen Charcuterie. The producers, so the pig was going to be really crucial to what we were going to be able to make. My time in France taught me that we needed to have a pig that was a lot bigger than what a traditional Australian pig is. So to give you an idea of that, on the hook at most butchers in Australia, they're about 50 kilos. These girls for us, they dress out around sort of 110, so they're double the size. This is really deliberate so that we can get beautiful muscle structure, fat coverage and things like that. World-class producer of Wagyu is Sher Wagyu, so we were able to get our hands on this amazing produce here. So pastrami on the left and Bresaola on the right are the two main products that we make from Sher Wagyu beef, and as I say, it's just stunning stuff. It's really, really good. Our entire philosophy is nose to tail, so we've got this paddock of pigs that Western Plains grow out for us out at Mount Mercer, and you know, they're grown to spec and they come into us and we break the whole animal down. We want to make sure that we do it justice and utilise the entire animal as much as we possibly can. It's really important to us to, you know, we've developed over 10 years products that utilise different muscles, primals, trim and things like that, so that we can actually sustain and use this paddock that is, you know, these pigs are coming to us every single week, so we need to make sure that we've got markets and, you know, products that we can actually make out of the whole animal. So the products that you're seeing on screen right now really do sort of illustrate that nose to tail, the breakdown, you know, all the primals from the cheek right down to the back trotter. We're actually trying to use and you know, make something special. It's quite unique the way that we do it. A lot of producers in Australia will use cuts from pigs, and so they'll buy box meat in. For us, we can actually tell you the paddock that they came from, you know, so that's quite special. And we're a real link to the provenance of our product. We talk about our product and talk about our region in the one breath, because it's important that people know that when they're eating Salt Kitchen Charcuterie product, that it's Western Victorian and that it's from a Western Plains pork pig or Sher Wagyu beef. So it does have that European philosophy, you know, wherever you go, province to province throughout Europe, whether it be Italy, France, Spain, even England, every place will do something a little bit different, but it's all based on things that are coming out of their backyard. So it's really utilising produce and products that's around them, and really that's what we're about. So utilising the beautiful produce and our farmers that are in the region. Thank you.